Hello my friends, and welcome to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Sonja, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a Valentine's Decorate With Me marathon. And what marathon is a whole bunch of Decorate With Me videos put together to create one long one to give you some uninterrupted decorating ideas. This video is decorating that I did over the years, so I hope that you guys enjoy it. Some of it might even include shots from before the reno, so it'll be interesting to see all the different decor. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get on with it. Today I'm coming back with another Look for Less challenge, but I did come up with another item from Wayfair. And here is the piece. I absolutely love how simple this piece looks, and I knew that I had just a perfect piece to replicate it. However, I cannot believe the price of this item at $73.99. There was no way I would ever pay that kind of money for this piece. That's just me personally, and I know that I can recreate it for much less. So I had this basket here from a thrift store. I had thrifted it a long time ago. I think I had paid like $2 for it. Really inexpensive, and I wasn't sure what to use it for, and this was perfect. So I am also using two different spray paints. One is in hammered in pewter. I think it's like a steel color, and the other one is more of a bronze color. And I also have these glue dots that I will be using, and some tape, and then a whole bunch of different acrylic paint. The first step that I do is tape up an area for when I spray paint the top, so that way it doesn't, the two colors don't mix up. So the first thing that I'm gonna spray paint is the handle, and I'm going to use the bronze color to do that, because I want to achieve more of a rust look, like rusting look, just like the way it is on the picture. I would love it if you considered subscribing to my channel if this is your first time stopping by, and pressing the notification bell so you don't miss out any of my posts. I post DIY type of videos often. So I took it outside to spray paint. This is what it looked like. I put a piece of just like a poster board across so it doesn't get the bronze color paint everywhere. Once it had a chance to dry, I brought it in, took the tape off, and then the next step that I did was added the glue dots on the outside of the box, but just on the outside walls, not the middle walls. Once I was done with the glue dots, I ended up taking just a scrap piece of paper and taping it around the handle, so that way that doesn't get painted with my hammered silver paint, gray paint. Then I took it back out and gave it a solid spray paint. I painted the whole thing. Once I was done spray painting it, I brought it back in, and it was dry already. I took the paper off, and then now is the fun part. I ended up adding some paint to both areas, the gray and the bronze. The gray, I added the black and the white paint, and I did like a sponging effect to achieve the distressed two-tone finish. And as well as the top, I did more of a brown, like cinnamon color, and black, just to achieve that more of a rustic look. Now comes the fun part. I pretty much just added the florals that were similar to the ones on the picture into this toolbox. I'm pretty sure that the florals were not included in that price, but I thought it was important to replicate it as close as possible. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Like I said, this box had cost me $2. Everything else I had on hand, and it beats the price of $73.99 plus tax. I had picked out, I'll insert a picture. I have seen this vase at HomeSense and it was $30. So I thought I can recreate this for a lot less, and mine cost me $8. So here are the materials and the process how I made it. For this project, you will need a vase, a clear coat, so nail polish clear coat. I am using Sally Handsome Hard as Nails from Dollar Tree. I just had this on hand. Actually, it's from Dollarama, and it was $1. This was also from Dollarama at $3.50. Then I'm using this peony that came from Dollarama at $3. The rest of these were $1.50, so I'm using this one, this one. This is almost like I want to say like oregano. This one. And you'll also need a pair of scissors. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this rope and the stick. Here's the piece all finished. I know that I have used the peony instead of hydrangea, like on the picture. I just couldn't find the hydrangea. If I would have found it, I would totally use it here, but this has turned out really nice. And I don't know if the camera will do its justice, but there's the blurry line that kind of makes it look like there's water in it that I did with the nail polish. And just a correction, I have said that the Easter twigs, like these one and these, were $1.25, but looking at the receipt, the Easter flowers were actually 50 cents. So even better. So the total cost was $8, plus the little bit of nail polish that I have used, which I already had on hand, but if I were to count that in, it would be $1. So $9 versus $30 that it was at Marshall's. I am doing this the second time. I had recorded a very nice video with all the instructions and went to edit it and somehow managed to delete the intro and the instructional video with just a couple clips at the end left over. So I really wanted to share this video with you because I was so happy with the way this turned out, and for under $4 versus $69 that it was at Crate and Barrel, oh no, Pottery Barn. So this is the item that I'm trying to replicate, and this is what mine looks like. So I will show you again now. So the materials that I'm using for this project are, I have picked up this blanket for $4 at Dollarama, and you can check out my Dollarama haul that I posted a couple weeks ago, and they have these fluffy blankets, really nice and soft, for $4. I have picked up two. One is in my decor and one I thought I make the pillow. Then the next material that I'm going to use is this old curtain that I've had from, I didn't like the loops on it, it didn't really work well, so I kept it for just different projects, and hot glue gun, and that's it. So I'm going to get started. First thing, I'm gonna cut out all my materials. So I have my dark fabric and I've cut out some letters and I'm gonna trace them on. My letters are all cut out, and now I'm going to get my pillow cut out, form cut out. Okay, so the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to measure this material. And I'm doing the folded side. Doesn't have to be perfect as long as the folded side is good. Now I'm gonna turn it this way so the soft sides are inside. Make sure it lines up somewhat. Just marking off my metal. So I'm going to glue this here. And I'm using my less hot glue so I don't get burnt. Cut out one extra one, and you can still use it on here as well. I'm not sure if I will or not yet. I'm going to close it, fold it, and close it. So I'm gonna put my hot glue and then fold it. And for this one, because I wanted to be able to put my pillow in, I am going to just give a little corners. If you were stuffing the pillow, I would suggest do more of a closure, and then you stuff your pillow and then you can close it. I'm just going to leave it like this and then put the pillow in and then go from there. Okay, so I turned it inside out, and I'm going to glue down the letters. You kind of want to center them. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to put the pillow inside of it and show you what it looks like. Well, here they both are, just so you see the size difference. So that's the original one, and this is the one that I just made, and I love them both. I think they look really great, and they're going to be a great addition to my decor. And both of them, I still have blanket material left over for maybe another little project. And I already did one other project using that blanket just for a heart. So that $4 have gone a long way. So I would say these two pillows have cost me under $5 to make versus what the regular price of them at Pottery Barn is. I am making these candelabras from Pottery Barn. Again, it is a large wooden, carved wooden candelabra, candle holder, pillar, and here it is. And this one is 104, and I will be on their website. They had a couple different sizes, but I couldn't see where I could see a price for any other size except the large one. So the large one was $104, and I will be making a large one and a small one. So I'm not sure what the total price would be, but I will just compare the large one to the large one. And so let's get started. For this project, you will need something for the base. I have cut, I had leftover piece of wood from a different project, so I just cut a square big enough to fit this glass jar sitting on top. Then you need these two glass jars that I picked up at Dollar Tree. Three of the little candelabra thingies from Dollar Tree. Some sort of a glue. I will be using Gorilla Glue. I might use hot glue just to speed things up, but I am using Gorilla Glue just to make it more permanent. And then I'm going to spot paint some gold acrylic paint underneath first, and then I'm going to cover the whole project, the whole thing up with the ultra matte paint. It's in color charcoal. It is from Rust-Oleum. And then of course you need some paintbrushes. Oh, and for my top of the candelabra, I will be using these two lids that came from two jars that I purchased for a different project. So without further ado, I'm going to get started, and the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be attaching this glass vase first. So I'm going to move everything out of the way. And I'm going to put it on the rim, not too heavy on the glue, so it doesn't drip everywhere. And then I'm going to attach one of these to the top, and I'm going to make actually doing it this way, going to make the bigger one first. So try and center it as much as I can. And then I'm going to put this on top. Make sure it's centered. And I'm going to gently move it and put something heavy on top of it, just for a little bit more pressure. So it pushes everything down, and I'm going to leave it resting. And then for the second one that I'm going to make is pretty similar to this one. Really don't love these stickers. So I'm going to put some glue at the rim again and glue it to the wood. And this one I'm going to put just one of these on. And then the lid will go on top here. There. And then I'm going to put some weight on that as well. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry for about an hour at least. So now that this has had dry, it's pretty secured on it, I am going to just paint some areas that I want to show, where I'm gonna sand down once I apply the black paint. So, and the paint that I want to show through is this kind of goldish brown paint. So this doesn't have to be perfect. Just like I said, in certain areas where I'm going to be sanding down spots. This step is definitely not necessary. I just thought it might add to the look of it, so it looks more closer to the real deal. So I'm going to let that dry now as well. I'm going to work on this one. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. And then once it's dry, I'm going to paint it with the black paint. Now I'm going to paint them. Just going to switch brushes. I think this one's done. It's losing way too much hair. That one is done, and I'm going to let it dry before I sand some stuff off. And I'm going to paint this one. I'm going to let these dry and see if they need another coat, and if they do, I'll give them a second coat. If not, I'll just sand them down. So these have had a chance to dry, so what I'm going to do is just go lightly and just sand off some of the spots where I put the gold paint on, just to have it kind of show through. So I'm just gonna keep on doing this, and then once I'm done, I'll show you the end results. So here is the finished product. And the cost was, this was $1.50. That was free because it was just a piece of wood that I had left over. This part was $1.50. This part was $1.50. And the lid, the jar was $1.50. I used the jar for some other craft, and then the lid for this one. So for approximately $5, I have recreated this. That's quite a significant saving. And I am so pleased with the way the finished product turned out. So here is the product that I have picked up. And as you can see, the price of this item is $190. The materials that I picked up for this project was this glass tray, which was $8, and I picked it up at a thrift store. Then I picked up 3 packages of this jute rope, and I used only 2.5. And then other materials that you'll need is a glue gun and some glue sticks. So the first thing that I did was obviously heated up my glue gun, and then I started at the bottom of the inside of the tray. And you want to keep this very, very tight to the side, and then when you wrap the rope around it again, you want it to be as tight as possible so there's least amount of gaps. I also didn't go overly heavy with a glue gun. Just at the first point where the rope starts, that was a little bit heavier, and then the rest of the glue I kept it to fairly light application because I didn't want too much glue to be seeping between the ropes. And then I just went in a circle and I wrapped everything, the rope around, and just kept going until I used up the whole rope, and then I added the other one where the other one stopped. Once the inside was completed, I started to work on the outside, and this time I glued the rope on the outside of the tray, and I started at the bottom working my way up. And again, you want this as tight as possible and with not too much glue. To finish it off, I just added a bigger blob of glue, again not too much so it doesn't come out, cut off the rope, and that was it. Here it is, all done. I think it turned out really nice. I love the way it looks, and I love the way I styled it in my kitchen with all the supplies, the cooking supplies that I need for cooking. For these Look for Less DIYs, I will be using all the materials that I have on hand, so I did not purchase anything. I wanted to create some spring DIYs that I can keep throughout spring and as well Easter, and I came across at Kirkland's in their spring collection this beautiful frame with some goldish flowers on it, and it was $110. So I thought I could probably recreate it for a little bit cheaper, kind of adding my own touch to it. So I had these solar wood flowers on hand, as well as this frame. If I were to have to buy all this stuff, it would probably, all the supplies that I use cost me under $10. However, I didn't spend any money because I had it all on hand. So I cut this wire up. I wanted to add 6 of them because I was going to add 6 flowers. And I cut it in different lengths. And then I took it and I spray painted it with just a dark walnut spray paint. You can spray paint it really at any color you want. I have a ton of that dark walnut spray paint and I wasn't sure what to use it for, so I thought I use it for this. I also want to mention that today's video is part of a collaboration with my dear friend Sandra from the Schwammen's Nest, or DIYs at the Schwammen's Nest. If you have not been to Sandra's channel, make sure you head on over there. She is amazing, creates tons of farmhouse style DIYs. I will have her channel linked down below so you can go check her out. And if you're stopping by at her channel from my channel, make sure you say hi. And if you are stopping by my channel from her channel, hello and welcome. I hope you stick around by pressing that subscribe button. I proceeded to tape some tape around inside of the frame so I can stain the outside of the frame. And I am using Early American gel stain to do that. I am going to apply the gel stain with a brush, and then I'm going to just rub it in all the areas with a rag. And now it's time to add the flowers. Now these wood flowers have some of them have a very long point, so I was cutting that part off just so they would sit a little nicer on there. And I am just using the diagram from the picture from the Kirkland's website just to kind of play for the placement of the flowers. Now the wires have dried, and I'm going to just hot glue them into a spot, and you want to make sure that they are laying as flat as possible, so that way they're easier to hot glue. And you can, I bended mine to be a little bit curvy as well. It's just you want them to be flat. This was such an easy DIY, and I think it's going to look really good with all my new decor on my main floor. And let me know what you guys think. I just love the way it turned out. And you could also add a little bit of gold gilding wax to the flowers to make them even look more closer to the picture. For my next DIY, I also had everything on hand. But otherwise it would have cost $3 to make this. So I'm using this lid from the candle, and this is my inspiration, also from Kirkland's spring collection, and it was $15. So I'm going to remove the rubber part of the lid as well as any stickers that were on there, just so things stick better, so I can glue them better. So I'm going to hot glue the lid upside down onto the top of this little candlestick, and then I'm going to take these beads and glue them together, making sure that the holes face each other so that way they don't show at the front of the candle holder. If you're stopping by my channel for the very first time, welcome. My name is Sonja and this is my DIY channel, and on this channel I create budget-friendly home decor DIYs. So if that's something that you enjoy watching, I would love it if you considered subscribing so you become a part of my YouTube family. And don't forget to hit that bell button, notification bell, so that way you get notified when any of my videos pop up. So once I had all the beads glued on, I spray painted it with that same dark walnut spray paint. And once that was dry, I applied some white wax, covering most of the area with the wax brush, and then I went ahead with the dark wax over top of the white wax. The base paint just acted as almost like a primer for the candlestick, so that way everything was the same color. You can really use any paint, just so you know, it will change the look of the candle. If you went with the lighter color, it would probably give you more of the same look that the one from Kirkland was. I went with the darker one because I wanted it to look a little bit darker, and then I lightened it with the white wax and then went ahead with the brown wax, and I just love the way this ended up looking. The wax gave it almost that woodsy look. The last DIY that I'm going to be creating, the inspiration came from Kirkland's as well. And I thought this looked so cute. It was $25. Again, all the supplies that I am using I had on hand, and I just wish that the foam piece, the pink foam piece, was just a little bit more lighter. I think it would change the look of it, and I was also going to use my Cricut to cut out the Easter out of heavier cardstock, but I could not get my design space to work. I had to reinstall it, so I just improvised and created it with I did something a little different, which you will see in just a second. I think this sign is so cute. I think it will look great in children's room, or I mean, it can look great in any space, I think, but if you're looking to decorate a child's space, I think this would be great. So I'm using that same stain again and the Bristol brush just to create a bit of a wood look. You could also use the shelf liner that looks like wood that you can get at Dollar Tree here as well. I think that would look fine as well. And the other half I will be painting with the white acrylic paint. This you can do pretty much immediately after, since the stain dries almost instantly. This craft foam you can find pretty much anywhere. I usually buy mine at Dollarama. And I'm just going to cut out the ear pieces here, and I'm also going to cut a piece to look like the ear has folded, just like that looks on that inspiration piece. I'm going to hot glue all the pieces together, and then I'm going to hot glue it to the round. I went with a lighter marker just to write the words out, so that way in case I made a mistake, it wouldn't be that hard to cover it up. I did go with the same white for the wood part as well, because I'm going to be hot gluing that white rope that I showed you over top of it to give it more of a dimension. And for the word happy, I just went over it with a black marker. To finish it up, I just had glue a rope to the back of it, so that way you could hang it up on a door or anywhere that you wish to hang it up. I really love the way all of these turned out. I think they're going to be a great addition to my home decor for the spring and Easter season. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you check out Sandra's channel as well, which will be linked down below. And until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. So I had found this. It just popped up one day as I was searching for something else, but I thought it was so cute. It was the vintage Easter bunny wooden wall decor, and it was from Wayfair.ca, and because I'm in Canada, and the price blew my mind away. Check this bunny out, and it was $105.99. It was 18 inches high, 15 inches wide, and 0.5 inch deep. Yeah, so half an inch deep? Yes. So mine is probably a bit bigger than what theirs is, and I had picked up my bunny at Dollarama for $3. I have had this pallet wood left over from a different project at home already. Same with this, came from a different project that I just cut a piece off. I just built a lantern, and this is the wood I was using, and that was a piece I had left over. And another material that I will use is supplies, is the chalked linen white paint. And then I'm also going to use the Emperor's Silk by Annie Sloan. I'm going to paint the wood with the linen white, and then I'm going to mix those two to create the pink that the bunny has, and then maybe I will add a bit of dark wax on the edges or a little bit of brown paint. You could do that as well, just very lightly brush it on. So I'm excited. I was so excited when I found this bunny, and then even more excited when I saw what I was gonna make out of it and the money saving that I will be doing. So I will save $102 by making my own bunny. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. And make sure you check out the playlist that will be linked down below. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble the stand. And I am just going to apply some wood glue on the outside of this wood, and then I'm going to screw it from the bottom just for a little bit extra support. I'm also going to put some wood glue on the bottom there, and I'm going to just give it a little screw at the bottom. So this is all secured now and holding, so I'm going to paint it, and I'm doing the linen white by Rust-Oleum chalk paint. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to work on my bunny. So for the bunny, I'm going to remove all of these things. And I'm going to sand it down to get rid of the glitter as much as I can. So I think this is pretty good. I'm just going to get rid of some of this glitter. So now I'm going to mix up my paint, and I'm going to do about 2 teaspoons of white to a small spoonful of red, and then go from there. I think this is pretty good. Okay. Now I'm going to paint my bunny. And when I was sanding, I took the edges off, so that way when it dries I can sand it instead of putting like dark wax or brown paint. Just make sure whenever you're mixing the paint, you mix up enough, because no matter how much you measure the next time when you're mixing up paint, it never ends up getting the same tone of color or the same ratios. It never works out. So there, I'm going to let him dry. I'm not going to add more paint because I think that's enough. And then I'm going to sand him down and glue him onto my board that I made. I just realized that some of the blue is showing on the edges, so I'm just going to make sure that those edges are covered with paint as well. Okay, I'm gonna let him dry. And I also forgot to remove this part, the little stand, so I'm gonna do that once he's dry too. So the piece has dried. I am just going to try and remove this. There we go. That wasn't hard at all. I'm going to sand him down just to create that aged look, the antique look. So I think he did have a bit more on it, so maybe I'll take some of my aging wax and just add it to it a little bit. So I'm gonna use any Sloan dark wax. To take a rag and just wrap it in just so there's no clumps. So I think that's pretty good, pretty close to the, I don't think you can actually see it very well in this light. And I'm going to hot glue him to this. And he's all done. I'm going to show you how he looks. So here he is. I think he looks really good. I think he looks very, very close to the original. And like I said, for only $3 versus $106, I made quite a bit of savings by making my own. Well, I would like to thank Yami and Nicole for hosting this challenge. And make sure you guys check out their channels, as well as the playlist, which will be linked down below. And if this is your first time stopping by, I would love for you to consider subscribing, pressing the notification bell. I do DIY, trash to treasure, look for less type of videos often. And like I said, make sure your notification bell is on so you don't miss the upload. And those of you returning, thank you so much for your continuing support. Until next time, happy spring, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.